Hey, what's going on, everybody? If this is your first time tuning in to Tim's Tidbit, I'd like to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning in, I still want to say welcome and give you a nice hearty thank you for always tuning in to Tim's Tidbit. And you are now tuned in to Mama, I Want to Trade. Hey, welcome, everybody. Yes, again, I would like to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mama, I Want to Trade. This is the video series where I break down the different ICT concepts that I trade in the way that I understand it, in the hopes to help somebody get their aha moment. We are in part 2 of the series, which is the price action section. If you have not checked out the lingo section, please do so. You need to know the lingo before you can continue on. So please check out the lingo. And now, without further ado, let's go to the split screen and see which PD array we're going to be talking about today. And that will be, drum roll please, the liquidity voids. Yes, the liquidity voids. This is our very first imbalance. We've had 2 reference points thus far, the mitigation block and the breaker. And now next up to bat in the PDub chart is the liquidity voids. The liquidity voids is, let's go to the next slide and see what it is. The liquidity void is a void, if you will, really not a true liquidity void, because it's more of an imbalance. Like I said, it's an imbalance. You either got sell side imbalance or buy side imbalance. That's what I like to refer to them as. But you can go back and look at the ICT videos where he talks about liquidity voids. This is not a true liquidity void. It's just a buy side or a sell side imbalance. Now, it's caused by a large, violent, one-sided price move. Heavy distribution. The big boys are moving money. You feel me? Now, let's go back to, my understanding of what the liquidity void is as far as definition, right? So let's read it together. Price leaves a balanced range of A, right? It can be a consolidation, it can be a slight trend, but it's balanced out, right? It's all balanced. All of the buy side and the sell side is being offered, right? A violent move occurs a violent move causes an imbalance, displacement, if you will, at point B, right? And smart money eventually offers the contrarian liquidity, either sell side liquidity or buy side liquidity at C. Now, what does that mean? This is an example of a consolidation, right? It's balanced out. You have heavy distribution, displacement, if you will, leaving a big liquidity void, because this is all sell side being offered. There's no buy side, right? Then eventually that leaves a void, and eventually price comes back up and the smart money offers the contrarian liquidity. We had sell side here and buy side is being offered over there. But this is the liquidity void when you have that big influx of selling or buying, and it's just all one way, and it don't offer the opposite liquidity. Right? Now, let's go see if we can find it in price action, Bob. Okay, now, the liquidity voids are typically easy to see. They're not the easiest ones to see. I think the swing highs and swing lows are the easiest for me. Fair value gaps are relatively easy too, but liquidity voids are also easy, right? Take your time and see if you can find. We're looking for a bullish liquidity void, right? Are we looking for the bullish? Yeah, we look for a bullish. Now, in this case, we have 2 in the exact same place, but we're looking for the bullish. So peep out the bullish. Did you find it? Let's put the annotations on the screen, right? If I can find my mouse. There you go, right? The price is trading in a balanced range. See, all of this is balanced out, right? Price is trading in a balanced range. We just so happen to have a bearish liquidity void on this example right here, but pay that no mind, because we're looking for the bullish, right? It's in a balanced range here. We happen to get a bearish liquidity void here. This was probably some type of news or something, who knows, right? But then we get a big influx of all buy side. Look at all this buy side, right? And see, price rallies with heavy one-sided distribution. All of that, and there is your liquidity void right there. Boop. There's your liquidity void right there. From this candle's high to that candle's low, that's your liquidity void right there. That's your full liquidity void there. All right. So we got that. Let's go back one more time just in case I lost anybody, right? So one more time without the lipstick on the chart. Price is trading in a balanced range. Like all the buy side and sell side is being offered in this area. In this case, we happen to have two. We had a buy side, I had a sell side liquidity void, which was quickly retraced by a buy side. It, quickly took back off again. But with all of that right there taken off, right, there's your buy side imbalance right there. Just taking off, a consecutive takeoff right there. That's your buy side imbalance. And then you see price eventually was offered back on the opposing liquidity over there when we put all the lipstick back on the chart, right? And as you see, we didn't come down and fill in the entire liquidity void, but we came back well past equilibrium right there on the liquidity void. That's the bullish side. Now let's go see if we can find a bearish besides the one we just saw. Now see if you can find the bearish liquidity void, right? See if you can find it. Give you a clue. It's in this area over here somewhere where I'm moving the mouse around. It's somewhere in this area right there, right? So again, let's put the annotations on the chart, right? Price is trading in a balanced range. See over here, we got some consolidation there, and then we got a slight little trend there. But if you notice, all of these candles in here, right, we're trading both ways, buy side and sell side being offered. That's what the wicks annotate. The wicks are showing that we're offering buy side and sell side, and then the bodies or the wicks are overlapping the other body. Even though everything is green, right, we're over, the candles are overlapping one another. So the buy side and sell side is being offered. Everything's balanced in that area. And then all of a sudden we have an area of heavy distribution where it's only offering sell side. Heavy distribution. Now this right here, this full gap there, that's a true liquidity void right there. There's no liquidity being offered in there, but we're just talking about the liquidity voids in the essence of buy side or sell side imbalances, right? So here we go with the sell side imbalance there, and then when we annotate the void, boop, there you go. From that candle's high to that candle's low, there was no buy side being offered, right? You had a little buy side sell side offer there, little buy side sell side offer there on that wick, but for the most part, no buy side was being offered. That's your liquidity void, and eventually price comes back and offers the opposing liquidity, offering the buy side over here. If we was to stretch this out in time, you'll see that the buy side is being offered into that liquidity void right there. So that is an example of a bullish and a bearish liquidity void in price action. Hopefully I did not confuse anyone, and feel free to go back and watch this as many times as needed to see how to pick out a bullish and bearish liquidity void. And remember what I said about prices trading in a balanced range before an explosive move. That's very important when we're getting to the strategy portions. Just like before, I was telling you with the breakers and the mitigation block, it's important to know when you're in a premium and a discount market. Remember all that for when we get to the strategies. Now, this is when you're going through trying to find them. And then when you get to the strategies, you're going to be strategically picking which ones will most likely act as a mitigation block, a breaker, a liquidity void, a fair value gap. But we'll talk more about that in the strategy section. I digress. Now, thank you again for tuning into another episode of Mama, I Want to Trade. And I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Gone.